We're going to look at the atom and atomic structure. Now on the right here we've got an example of a lithium atom, and let's just briefly look at its structure. Now first of all, in the centre of the atom we have something called the nucleus. If you look over here at this photograph, you can see a football on the centre spot in the middle of a football stadium. Well, this football represents the nucleus of an atom, and whizzing around in the outside of the atom we have electrons. In the case of lithium it has 3 electrons, and if we look at our football stadium model, well, the electrons would be in the stands. Okay, so if the diameter of the atom is a football stadium, then the nucleus would be within this football on the centre spot. So as a rule of thumb we can say roughly the nucleus is about 10,000 times smaller than the diameter of the atom itself. Now if we look at the nucleus we will see that it's made of 2 types of particles. Okay, we've got these black ones here are called protons. These have a positive charge, so in this case we've got plus, plus and plus. And the electrons on the outside, these have a negative charge. So if we sum up the charges on the lithium atom, we have 3 positives and we have 3 negatives, which gives us an overall charge of 0. So we have 3 particles. We have the proton, and its relative mass is 1, and its relative charge is plus 1. We have the electron. Now electrons are a lot smaller than protons or neutrons, so in fact their mass is something like 1 over 2000 as a rule of thumb times smaller than the mass of a proton, but they have a charge of -1, so they have equal but opposite charge. Now the orange particles are called neutrons. They also have a relative mass of 1, but they have 0 charge. We're going to define a few more terms. So we've got below a number called the atomic number. Okay, so the atomic number has the symbol Z, and that is equal to the number of protons in the nucleus. So in the case of, for example, lithium, that has an atomic number of 3, a Z number 3, because it has 3 protons. And the mass number is given the symbol A, and that is equal to the number of protons plus neutrons in the nucleus. Now the nucleus structure of an atom is represented in this way. We often write the mass number above and the atomic number below. So for example, in the case of lithium, okay, we would write 7 because it has 3 protons and 4 neutrons, which makes 7, which make a mass number of 7 and an atomic number of 3 because it has 3 protons. I would also like to point out that this represents the atom. As we said, the atom is roughly 10,000 times greater than the diameter of the nucleus. Well, nearly all of the matter is squeezed into this tiny little nucleus. The rest of the atom, really, because we can almost ignore the mass of the electrons, the rest of the atom is really just space. So when you're looking at any object around you right at the moment, including yourselves, the matter around us is really mostly made up of space.